Our next reader, I believe, is new to McKinnell's Poetry, Alan Leong-Van. Alan? I think this is your first time reading, is it? Okay, welcome Alan, please.
Oh, this thing is so high up. There we go.
Turn it a little that way.
This way?
Just away from that.
Oh, it's taped on. I didn't even know that. It's like how I fix everything. It's tape. Okay, so I should probably preface my poem a little bit before I get in, or otherwise it's not going to make any sense. So, my family is from Southeast Asia, and to make a long story short, stereotypes are true. Whenever you have parents from a foreign land, typically they're very strict. I'm sure there's some people in here who can attest to that if you ever had parents from a foreign land, but you were born and raised in Canada. Anything less than perfection is seen as weakness, and there's always going to be that disconnect between being born and raised in a first world country in the Western world to the way my parents were raised. I mean, the worst thing I had to worry about when I was 12 was getting cooties from girls because girls are icky. That's the worst thing I had to worry about. When my dad was 12, he had to worry about napalm and whether or not, the plane flying overhead had grenades or supplies. So there's always going to be that disconnect. And yeah, this is a little poem called, it's something funny, I promise. It was a horribly depressing preface. It's a fun poem. It's a little something I call, Why You Not Doctor? I had you guys going for a sec there. It's not depressing, I promise. Okay. My dad has always been the most influential person in my life. My hero, my nemesis, and my teacher. He's this fantastic oxymoron who is anything but one. If life is the wild and wilderness, then my dad is my guide, the brave instructor who straps in with you to ride, the leader whose back is a mystery because he leads from beside, the hand who yanks me out from under cowardice if I even think to hide. Seemingly indestructible like the rock he is, holding my heart where it needs to be, yet pushing me where I need to go, this ninja of knowledge with the sage's glow, so eager to bestow upon me lessons from years ago, even though the lessons are so boring and so slow. I know. His wise words are never for show because sometimes I fail. Actually, a lot of the times I fail. And when I do, both of our tears water the ground just so I can grow. Intellectually. That old man's eyes can see through lies, fake cries, and the guise of false allies. They can simultaneously advise and chastise, but never do they patronize, because they can see through the disguise that hides youthful ignorance. But youthful isn't the only kind of ignorance. Eyes left open too long can go blind, and sometimes parents get it completely wrong. I remember one day, years ago, I felt a chill in the air. I could feel my dad furrowing his brow in the distance, I'm not sure how. His footsteps became foot stomps as he closed the distance quickly, like an angry 5-foot giant who plays bass guitar and drinks Molson Canadian. He glares at me, like Asian parents always do, and asks, "Why you not doctor?" Then, as if his arms were tired under the weight of all the B's and C's I've handed him, they drop to his sides as he inquires further, "Why you not lawyer? How come you don't be an engineer?" So I sat on the barbed wire fence, between shame and stubbornness, until it got really uncomfortable and I decided to fall on the side I can live with. Maybe I am a doctor. Maybe this smile is my protective mask and the real viruses are fear and doubt. Maybe my surgical tools are the pen and paper with which I scribble down prescriptions for big laughs, free smiles, and deep thought. Have you considered my scalpels are syllables, and the sentences I stitch together are sutures saving sad, sad souls from the sickness of silence and boredom? I may not have passed the bar exam, but I can still find legal loopholes in lyrics and lines. I can cross-examine a limerick just by checking the time. I will walk into a courtroom of grammar a guilty man and get off by pleading poetic insanity. I do not know how to assemble a circuit board, but I can disassemble the concept of board and reverse engineer it. Lexicons literally lay down the foundation to construct figurative machines of thought, Pencil strokes and pen pokes build bridges that span the ocean. Words can harness light, humor, and make it move in slow motion. So yeah, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not an engineer. There are a million other paths to greatness, and you cannot limit your vision to just one. Oh, and Dad, why you not doctor?
Alan, has your father heard you read that?
I don't even think he knows I write poetry.
Oh, come on, tell him. Come on, you're...
That's amazing.
Wow, thank you.